London, England, and Wembley Stadium. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Tennessee Titans and the Los Angeles Chargers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Mariota going underneath for Lewis. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Mariota, and the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and 1, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. That's taken on the 25. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now a handoff looking right. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got a 1st down of inside at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, that's one of the main responsibilities of a safety in any defense. A long way downfield before he's able to corral him, but that's why you have him on the field, the last line of defense.
He made the play. I don't know if it'll be remembered. They're probably so mad that the run went for that long.
Wonder if they were thinking pass in that situation as opposed to run and being caught a little bit out of position. Fortunately, he's able to track him down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now they'll run it on the toss. Got some real estate inside the 30. Still going. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Buffalo wall. Hey.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, ready. Delta. Yeah, rocket. Under crush.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Sturgis for the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. That time a 6-play drive, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 31 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Nobody leaked. Big play.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get over.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. A first down throw here for Rivers. Allen's got it complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Benjamin's got it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To throw, Rivers. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. Second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Set. Round 80. Buffalo wall.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Daquan Jones in on the tackle there.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
One out a little bit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out leveraging the offense.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back to the booth right after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Hey. Load it.
Jack 31.
Yeah, Rocket.
Where you at? Who's that? Is that yours?
Now a handoff looking right. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down, Rivers. Completes it to Benjamin. And Benjamin seems to be in some pain. You see him there, still down. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game.
Set 180. Hey. Buffalo wall. One out a little bit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside, and it's a lot longer run, and you've got to make sure your angle is right because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage. Your job now is to make sure they don't go all the way for a touchdown. You have to become an excellent tackler against a lot of bodies out leading a runner. And on this play, the defenders were finally able to rally to the ball after a big pickup of yardage and hurt him out of bounds.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called roast stem right or roast stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Is that white 90? 380! Buffalo wall. Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through. So we have come to halftime. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Sit. Delta. Hey, easy, easy. Hey, 79. Get hot.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers whipping one into Allen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The Charger first down. Rivers hooking up with Allen.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Rivers with a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far.
Good. Delta.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Set. Round 80. Set. Hey, go orange 5-4.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
3 down, 3 down.
Set. Green 80. Round 80.
Rivers now on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Rivers to Benjamin, good for the Charger first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Rivers with a 1st and 10, and he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game.
Load it. Load it. Hey.
Double up. Double up.
Hey, hot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Set. Round 80.
Action.
All right.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Welcome back now here in London. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
We got 3. We got
Set 180.
Hey, check right 57.
Hey.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Set 380.
Stand up here.
Now they try the right side here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure. just Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Second down, Mariota. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Melvin Ingram in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And some room to work. Room to run inside the 40. And down to the 28-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Red Delta!
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
Rivers now. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Hey, Delta!
Alert 3, alert 3.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Good! Set 180! 5-4!
Right back to him on first down. Shrugs him off. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Check green 90! Black 11!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Check 9! 5-4! Set 180! Ready!
57.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that makes the score 28-0. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Titans getting set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want?
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Tight end right, tight end right.
On third down, it's Lewis. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returning, it's Benjamin. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right. Move.
Set 180. Delta. 5-4.
37. Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Fancy footwork at the 45. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
The storyline.